ahead and present your first argument. The audience, please, we ask you to pay attention, take notes, and prepare your questions for the end. Let's go ahead and start. Thank you.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'm Nancy Santander and I appreciate your presence and your attention. Today the question is, should homosexual couples be permitted to adopt children? Our answer is yes. Why? Every human in this world has the same rights, the main, the happiness. So to defend our position are with us Alma Gonzalez, Sharon Torres, Daniel Esparza, and Paola Mujia, experts in law, health, and psychological aspects. So,
hello everybody. We are going to talk about the adoption of couples, homosexual couples, and many times we are think that who are different for us are wrong. So today we decided to talk about first of mental health of homosexual and the first topic is that the APP, that means the American Academy of Pediatrics, produced a comparative study in 2012 that talk about of children educated by homosexual or heterosexual families. So the results didn't show differences that the children that educated by these people have differences to personal development and social behavior. Then, in another study of the University of Amsterdam in 2013, the comparing homosexual with heterosexual family, the results didn't show differences as emotional cognitive function, sexual orientation, and identity.
Well, homosexual parents have an open mind that which help them to educate the children the same form that heterosexual parents, and well, they help them to be respect with other people, to be more lovely, caring, and tolerant.
So, in the other hand, the other topic is the school education. The school education, the average academic of children educated by homosexual parents is higher than other children, and so that study indicated that school failure is less. And it's all.
Well, we want to create it average and brokering of people working in the education system, because in the schools have a lot of homophobics or they bully. Thank you.
So, good morning, audience. My team is going to speak against about adoption of same-sex couple. What do you think about that? Based on evidence, we know that the children of homosexual couples have psychological problems. The psychologist Alan Rickers said in his book, Shaping Your Child's Sexual Identity. Where is that? That the children have a sexual identity disorder because they need a parental and maternal figure for psychological development and to be psychosocial and psychosocially stable. The increased stress in children, a consequence of this stress, children could be antisocial. Then antisocial behaviors begin in childhood. Where is that? And expressed with violent emotions and they decrease their self-esteem. Additionally, the children become adults, they manifest a worse conduct. For example, the study from Margaret Generous, the associate professor of the sociology at the University of Texas in Austin, the study found that response where mothers had a same-sex relationship were worse 24 of 40 test commons compared with the children's intact heterosexual couples. So it's clearly that it's counterproducent that the children's in the same-sex couple because it creates problems for the lifelong of the children.
Okay, thank you for your first argument. We'll go back to the pro team and we would love to listen to their second argument.
Good morning, everybody. First of all, we need to talk about it should be about children. Why? Why? Because we are talking about orphans, the rights of these orphans. So, what they really want, what they really need. They need a father? They need a mother? No. They really need a family. And this family needs love and protection. This is the most important thing that an orphan needs. So let me explain it like this. We think that a couple of same-sex is equally capable of raising a child as a heterosexual couple does. So it has been shown in a study by the American Psychiatry Association in 2014 that children raised by same-sex couples are as emotionally stable as a child whose fathers were heterosexual. Why? Because they grew in a favorable environment, in a healthy environment, where tolerance and respect are encouraged. So, what's the difference?
Thank you, Shara. Second argument presented by the pro team. We would like to hear from Cesar, representing the con team.
Yes.
Let's go ahead and start.
Good morning, audience. I would like to point out that same-sex couples should not be permitted to adopt children because it's dangerous. Yes, dangerous. Throughout the time, many cases of sexual abuse have been registered. For instance, in Los Angeles in the year of 2013, an homosexual couple were accused for sexually abuse of their adopted son. The couple had been abusing the child and recording the acts. Another case took place in North Carolina in the year of 2009. Frank Lombard, who is gay, was arrested for trying to sell his adopted black son. Sad, right? And another case took place in Medellin, Colombia. A couple of women had been abusing a 5-year-old girl. The couple abused the girl since 2012 to 2015. Moreover, the couple used to have sex in girls' presence. To sum up, we should not permit these kind of stories happen again. We should not permit same-sex couples adopt children because we can take risk. We must protect children of any harm because children are the future. Thank you.
Thank you. And now we are ready to listen to the third and last argument from the pro team, presented by Sharon.
Yeah.
Go ahead and start.
Well, the world is changing. We are changing. So we are not talking about if you are agree or against gays. This is not the topic. The topic, I insist, is children. So what do you prefer? See children on the street or with a family? I don't know what do you think about the meaning of family, but for us, and I hope you see like that, family is love and protection. So if they don't, they have the requirements to have a child, or if they have the daughter requirements that government needs to have a child, why not? In this world, human rights, we are not discriminating anybody. So homosexual and heterosexual couples have the same rights, and we have to accept that. Let's give you an example. Before time, adoption was an extremely delicate issue. So for a child, it was difficult to accept that he was adopted. What happened now? Now it's entirely normal that a child says for his friends, I'm adopted child. It's normal. World is changing, so we have to adapt for that changes. We are in the process of change. I would like to circle past some maps that prove that the human thought is changing. So now today are 15 countries that the adoption is legal. And you said maybe children will be victims of bullying, but that's precisely the kind of thing that we must change. We need people who accept tolerance and respect. We need for our next generations change of culture, of a cultural and ideological change. So we don't want to get back to middle age. We are in the 21st century. So let's think about it.
Okay, thank you, Sharon. And now we are ready to listen to the third argument presented by the community. Go ahead, Nicole. You have 3 minutes.
Good morning, everybody. Now I will show you the third argument. That is nuclear family. The concept of nuclear family is simply as a wife, a mother, a dad, and a husband, and their children. The point is the apologies from Satan. Nuclear family have to be universal because it fits a basic biological need for caring and protecting infants and young children in the UNICE Day in 2001. And for the most part, throughout the world, the family is defined in service as two or more persons related by born and marriage. A new study shows children do better when raised by a mom and dad instead of same-sex couples. The study was based on 500 American children raised by same-sex couples. The data show that 80% children have mental and emotional problems. The researchers found that children with same-sex parents have more than serious emotional problems compared to the children with a mom and dad. It is obvious that with homosexual adult children, we should be eating.
Thank you, Nicole. We're now gonna take a break. We're gonna give both teams 3 minutes to compare their notes and prepare their rebuttals. Let's go ahead and start.
Okay, so to continue, he said that the homosexual couples are dangerous, but what about the heterosexual couples? I mean, the rapes and things like that, about topics about population. What do you think about it? We have a lot of cases that we have rapes with heterosexual couples.
Well, do you think I am a bad person? I don't think so. I was created by heterosexual couple, and I am created by homosexual couple, and I am heterosexual. I don't think I am a bad person. My fathers are good. My fathers give me a lot of love.
Comparing among the children of heterosexual couples and children of gay couples have no difference between cognitive, emotional, identity development, and sexual orientation. Then before are completely healthy physically, mentally, and emotionally. That is, each of the children who are adopted can be loved in a correct way. And even the children of gay couples have turned out to have better academic performance. And let me see the concept 18. The statistics are very old, and then before do not support what they can that, what do they want to improve. And The Universal Declaration of Human and Article 1 says, all human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights. Therefore, we are right to have a family and we have right life with.
Thank you, Rosie. Let's go ahead and listen to the first rebuttal from the current team.
I am agreeing with that homosexual couples are stable, could be stable than heterosexual couple and affected. Yeah. And you also mentioned that they don't have a mental illness. Yeah, it could be correct. But what do you think about the children and the problems that the children could have? And not only in the childhood, because they receive psychological problems, sexual identity disorder, psychosocial, antisocial, and the self-esteem that is represented not only in the childhood, it is in the adulthood. What do you don't mention any about that? The children are risky in the adulthood.
Okay, firstly, you said in a moment that homosexual couples are lovely, respectful, and open-minded. Who said that? I don't think you find it in a science research because it is really subjective. Secondly, you say that orphans have rights, but we are making decisions. I mean, adults are making decisions. But who have asked orphans? Who have asked their opinion? And finally, you say that the human thought have changed, but I don't think so. For instance, in the USA, the 50% of the population are Christians and the 21% are Catholics. We assume that they are against the adoption. Therefore, majority rules. USA has an hostile society for the development of same-sex couple adoption.
Thank you. Thank you, Cesar. And let's give the next opportunity to rebuttal to the pro team. Let's go ahead and start.
Okay. What do you think if I tell you that an orphan needs love? We only are saying that a family is not always, there are some child that are raised by only one mother, or one father, even without parents. What about them? They don't, if you're raised only by your mother, you don't get lesbian. Or if you're only raised by your father, you don't get gay. So, just think about it. What do you prefer? To see a child in the street or to see a child with protection and love? Yes, we don't ask about the opinion of orphans. We don't ask them because they are child. And if you raise a child with values like respect and tolerance, children don't rise with prejudice. I don't know how to say it, to explain it. They don't rise with bad feelings. So if you do bad feelings, if you change that mentality, we can create a new and better society.
Another part that say it's subject but it's subjective your opinion because the religion is not here. And let me limit International Covenant on Political and Civil Rights, Article 2. Each of the states parties to the present covenant understand to the respect.
Thank you. Pro team will invite the con team to present their second rebuttal. Your 2 minutes, start now.
Okay. You said something about the rights of the children. But what about the bullying? Somebody just think about this topic? The bullying in the children is bigger than in a heterosexual family. They have the risky for the society, and they're affected in the future. Also, they can commit suicide. And what do you want for a society? A murder for this kind of activities? A suicide? Also, you mentioned that the religious is subjective, but the religion, it is not something that we can say it is only subjective because it exists. We should afford it. And also, the Catholics and the Christians that are in the majority in the United States contains families, and the bullying, it exists, and it increases in the last years. So
what Oscar tried to say is that we don't care. We don't care about their thoughts. We care that the majority rules. That's what we are trying to say. And if the population are principally Catholics and Christians, they are going to bully the children.
Thank you, con team. I would like to invite the pro team to present their last rebuttal.
Well, the bullying is in all the world, and not is necessary for children who has homosexual couple. Well, we need to create awareness, brokering of people working in the education system. We need to change the mentality in the students, the fathers, the teachers. We need to change. Why you do bullying? If you don't want your children get bullied, don't do it. We consider that this is a decisive contribution to eradicate homophobia. Thank you.
What about the education if you are a heterosexual couple with problems? I mean, with problems, alcohol problems and drug problems, sorry. Think about it. Now, to adopt children, they need to be prepared. I mean, economic, emotional, psychological, and things like that. So, think about it. If you have a couple, and I don't know, the pregnant it was not prepared, the boys, we will grow in a hard way. You know what I mean? So, think about the other couple. I mean, for example, men and a man, and they are prepared to have a children with health, with education, school, and things like that. So, do you prefer to see a boy or a girl, a little girl, with a prepared family, or with an alcoholic and drugs family?
And in another hand, the quality of life of child will increase to be with a family financially stable.
Thank you to the pro team. And I would like to invite the con team to present their last rebuttal.
Well,
Thank you.
I think that you say that what is happened with the homosexual health, what is happened that we found love or happiness. But I think that it's more important to find the happiness of the children, and it's better to be a family with generate problems to be in an orphanage what happened with emotional problems, and the children need to be psychosocial stable and psychological healthy mental. If you have a complete family, a heterosexual family, could be more probabilities to have a mental stable.
Okay. Also, the meaning of a nuclear family, that is a definition with a big weight. It is posted in the Constitution of the United States, the meaning of the nuclear family. And they voted in the majority of the people that live in the United States, that a nuclear family consisting of a father and a mother and a marriage, and they are related with the vote for the children. So the majority think that it is correct that the heterosexual couple exists. Why we should permit to a minority to have the option for adopt children? This also exists not only in the United States, also is in around the world, because there it exists surveys and interviews to the people that for base what was the meaning of a family, and they also say that is a father, a mother, and a children. If the majority say that, what we should change?
Thank you to both teams. We are now ready to present the last part of the debate, which is the conclusion. I would like to invite the pro team to present their conclusion.
Well, we are agree for children have a house. We are agree to children have protection and love. I don't know if you agree with me. I hope so, but we see child protected by a family. There's no difference. There's no differences, and heterosexual couples are the same as homosexual couples have same rights. Now, they have the same rights. So there are many studies that prove that, like the American Secretive Journal, that prove that children don't need more. They want a house. So let's give it them.
Okay, they express their opinions, but where are the arguments, statistics, numbers? And then, as we heard, we fully agree with the homosexual adoption, and we are sure that the advantages outweigh that disadvantage. That's all.
Thank you, pro team. And I would like now to invite the con team to present their conclusion as well.
Well, in conclusion, we consider a risk let same-sex couples adopt children. The question is why, but the answer is simple. Because children are susceptible to sexual abuse, as mentioned before. We also believe that disorders of sexual identity, which leads children to have aggressive behavior in adulthood.
I would like to add that I don't agree of the last comment you did. You are assuming that just for being homosexual, they have education. I think any person can have education, and doesn't matter his race, age, or gender.
Thank you to the con team for presenting their final conclusion. I would like now to please ask all of our debaters to stand up. And the audience, would you please give them a big round of applause?
abolish the death penalty because death penalty is a symptom of a culture violence, and it's not a solution to it. So there is no conclusive evidence to show that the value of death penalty decrease the criminality in the United States. So there are currently 41 crimes for the Americans. Can be sentenced to death. So the death penalty in the United States is the country that promotes the human rights, but it's the first who violates them. So we have to think what happened with these people.
According to the Universal Declaration of Human Rights that was adopted on December 10, 1948 by the General Assembly, in which are listed the civil, cultural, economic, political, and social rights that every human being must have, the death penalty inflicts at least 3 of these rights, which are mentioned below. The first article of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights mentions that every single human must behave fraternally with the other humans. The second point is based on the third article because it is a right of the life. That is irrefutable and we are given at birth, so nobody can decide among our life for life. The last article that will be mentioned on this argument is the fifth article, which states that no torture or cruel will be practiced on nobody. So clearly the death penalty breaks these 3 articles. So for this, it's important to reiterate.
Thank you, Pro Team, for presenting your first argument. I would like to invite the Con Team now to present their first argument.
Good morning, dear partners. We are here to debate about this. The death penalty should be abolished. We think that no. Through this work, we thought that would be most useful and practical to show it with a real case. To develop and to explain you so appropriate our arguments. It's necessary to risk that a criminal, after being convicted and being imprisoned, will be released and then commit another crime? This is the case. On May 27, 2005, somebody hurt my son. On June 2, 6 days later, he died. 26 years. This is the case of Elvia Gonzalez, a Mexican woman who was snatched the life of her son. This is a statement. She's opting in favor of the death penalty, and this is her opinion. I feel that it's legitimate for me to ask for justice. I'm not asking for revenge. I'm asking for justice. I feel that the punishment should be at the level of crimes. I do not have to respect the life of the who didn't respect the life of my son. Of course, it's legitimate. If the crime and the punishment do not go together, not that close as I hope. I'm going to continue with my partner Bruno, that is going to be the first argument.
Hello everybody, I would like to talk about death penalty, in other words, the capital punishment. Also known as the death penalty is a government-sanctioned practice wherever a person is put to death by the state as a punishment for a crime. It's a topic very controversial. Some people said that death penalty is inhumane, but I'm going to ask, would you like to have robbers waiting to go out?
Thank you, Con Team, for presenting your first argument. I would like to go ahead and invite the Pro Team to present their second argument.
Okay, here I go. Death penalty is not a solution for decrease the crime problems. Some governments argue that the death penalty is necessary for scarce societies by violence crimes. Nowadays, the maximum penalty is necessary to prevent to commit similar crimes and respond to the feelings of crime victims and their own families imposing a punishment equivalent to the crime which was committed. That is what governments do actually. These governments are just avoiding their responsibilities. We think that they need to focus on delay the crime by improving the functions of the laws and the people who adjudicate the punishment according to the kind of crime. We think that a quick solution for the death penalty, like the lethal injection, instead of eradicating the violence, it contributes to increase the crimes. So we think, by the other hand, government could offer to the crime victims and their families financial support to help people to recreate their lives.
Okay, thank you, Protein. I would like to now invite the CON team to present their second argument.
Okay, who I said a few minutes ago, it's a topic very controversial, but the death penalty can avoid crimes, may deter, prevent potential murders. You can save a lot of life, the citizen's life. If you apply the death punishment correctly, the robbers will know the consequence of their actions.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Death penalty has a dissuasive element. I will explain that. When death penalty is active, less facts and homicides are happening. Less facts. For example, in India, in countries like India and other countries in Asia, when you steal something publicly, they cut your hand. So those facts permit that less acts and facts is declining in that society. So 139 of 194 countries around the world, that is represent around 72% of global population, have the penalty death. So 27 countries have not killed somebody since 10 years ago. The point is, death penalty is something positive when it is applied correctly. Actually, 31 states in U.S. have death penalty.
Thank you, CON team. I would like to now invite the Pro team to present their third and last argument.
Okay. Hi everybody. I have some numbers because all of us know about numbers. Okay? Every death sentence costs $20 million, only one. Why I need to say that? Because the cost of rises spent any time of one death arrow is so easily more than 15 years. One person that condemned to death penalty is waiting 15 years for somebody killed. Okay, I want to mention the case of Edgar Tamayo, who was sentenced that in 1944 and was executed in 2014. According to this data, penalty center infiltration, in building the cost USA is only $20 million this case. In biggest numbers, I want to show. If we estimate all the case USA has in this moment, the numbers is $100 million only for 43 persons in this moment. But don't consider all the most costs, like paid for police, paid for the castle, the jails. But all these numbers are sent to the $6,000 billion. So this money can use it for the education of the people, for the orphans, for people's need this money, no need to kill persons. Okay, I don't have more time.
Thank you, Protein. I would like to now invite the fund team to present their third and last argument.
First of all, good afternoon to the audience, teacher, and students to join us during this debate. One of the arguments that help to support the idea to being against the abolition of death penalty is the high cost it implies to keep one person along the fulfillment of his sentence. Have you ever thought who pays the expenses for keeping a person in prison along the fulfillment of his sentence? I answer that. All of you with your taxes. For example, the newspaper The World in 2012 published on one of his pages the cost per year in New York to keep one person in prison. The newspaper disclosed that the real cost is around $168,000 per year. The annual expenditures involve operation expenses, food, salaries, maintenance, and repairs of prisons. In 2020, prisons in New York had as average 12.2 prisoners per cell. This helped represent an annual expenditure for more than $2 million per cell in prisons.
Thank you to both teams for presenting their arguments. I would like to give you both 3 minutes to work on your rebuttals. Okay?
Well, the other team said that some countries approve the death penalty. I would like to say that in this country, no, it's in part of the religion and the laws. Countries like India, like Pakistan, like other countries, the laws and the religion is the same. For this reason, we cannot adopt these customs and these societies because it's very different, like our custom, our legislation, our society, and our crimes.
I would like to invite the CON team to present their first rebuttal. You have 2 minutes.
Yeah. You talk about rights, but what about the rights of the people they were violated? You said that some political rules like death penalty scare the population. But what about the scare that all the people feel when they feel danger? You saw too that the religion is so important to this case, but until today, the Catholic Church never had discussed the right of the authority to apply the death penalty in extreme cases. The Catholic Church has always regarded as delegated authority by God of all the concerns the preservation of the common good, also including the right application of penalties, including maximum. And so, the ultimate church documents, the Second Vatican Council, and the Catechisms of the Catholic Church, allowing in exceptionally cases that the death penalty is approved. Further heading Catholic theology can vindicate the right of authority in extreme cases to apply the death penalty. This is the official position of the Church today.
Thank you, CON team. I would like to invite now the PRO team to present their second rebuttal.
Okay, well, they talk about that the death penalty reduces deaths in the crime, but look at Europe. Europe has been abolished the death penalty years ago, and the assassins hasn't rules are the same with the death penalty or without it. And well, my classmates say that the rules, this kind of crime, is for penalty death, and isn't true. Only the crimes that have
well, like propose to kill another people or do it, mm, has the right to be advocated the death penalty. But well, these little people, this little section of the people, as have this well, the numbers that was already but well, if the death penalty don't cause nothing in the numbers of the assassins, what do it?
You take about Catholic Church, and we know that it is a priest whose name is Patrick Carey, who worked with the sentence to death, with people who were sentenced to death, and now he changed his mind, and he is working to abolish the death penalty because he's so impressed the way that this kind of punishment tortured the people.
Thank you, Protein. I would like to invite the content to present their second rebuttal, please. You have 2 minutes.
I'd say that the death penalty is not for all the crimes, only for the gold rule is life for life. Life for life. It is not only for if you steal a apple, you are going to the death penalty. It is not an extremical way to justice, but in a good government, it is a good way to control the crimes and the dangerous society. But in US, there are 31 states that they has positive results, and it is in the constitution, and this keep in that way. Thank you.
I want to tell you an example. We are here in New Mexico. It's one of the most poor countries in America. At the same time, New Mexico has one of the most dangerous jails in America. This is so controversial. Thinking about it, this is one of the most poor countries and has one of the most expensive jails. The people who live here paid a lot of taxes. I can't believe it. Who's possible this?
I want to continue. Is it right to pay taxes due to keep the murders, the rapes, the criminals? Since this being a live requires some services such as food, medical reviews, clothing, and what else?
And we have one more rebuttal from the pro team. You have 2 minutes.
Okay. You mentioned the person has a cost of more. The person has a cost for other people. Yeah. It's hard because you give a person a price of human being. So in this is more important because you mentioned it 31 states, but in these states the death penalty are in decrease from 2011 and for actually. Okay, the most important, how you
the jails are getting in. The jails in United States are converting, I don't know the word, in a private prisons. So you don't have to pay taxes for that. If some companies can pay for maintain a prison, it could be rentable for the society. The persons who live in the prisons could make a kind of social service to help or to give something to the people of the country.
Okay. Thank you, Protein. Now I would like to invite the COM team to present their last rebuttal. You have 2 minutes.
Well, you said that ONU in the last year accept that all the humans have the right of life. Well, I want to tell you something. In order that my opponent companion says, we need to have in mind that it's not the same the federal laws that the state laws. Here in United States, each state is independent and has its own laws. So we need to have this in mind because each state can apply or not apply the death penalty.
In other cases, partner, maybe you need more information about the probate deals. Because all the citizens have the right to defend themselves from attack the traitor on their lives. But it's real that we pay taxes to keep murders, rapists, criminals, and millions of dollars are using for this case. My partner said that we can use this kind of money to support the education, the healthy, the, I don't know, maybe the safe. I agree with him. Why we don't use this money to pay our services than to pay the life of the murderers, of the criminals that is in the jails, and they need to eat, to clothing, to medical services, and that no make sure that when they be alive or be outside the jail, may commit another crime. We are not safe. Just the death penalty in the extreme cases of that the people murder somebody is used. We don't say, as my partner said, that we are going to apply the death penalty just for somebody rob an apple.
Okay. Thank you to both teams. And now I would like to invite the pro team to present their conclusion.
In this moment, it's important to reiterate that the Universal Declaration of Human Rights are being breached for the death penalty, and it's important to practice these rights because every human being has the universal rights. So we have to respect the meaning of the life.
Well, finally, we can say that the first, the death penalty is against to the international treaties. The second, the government don't focus in the prevention of the crime, only attack the problem when it's too late. The third, the government spend more money on the death penalty than other social sectors, like education or health sectors. Fourth, instead of invest human develop, they prefer to murder people. And the fifth, in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, say that nobody have the right to murder another person. We must to finally with this phrase that say, a parade and all the world will be free by Mahatma Gandhi.
Thank you, Pro Team. I would like to invite the COM team to present their conclusion as well. You have 3 minutes.
Okay. It is undeniable that every human being has rights, but it's debatable is the validation of these rights. A human being who has hurt to involved in the rights of another, as it is in the case of a murder. who has deprived his victim of their rights and therefore must take consequences. The matter of murder in prison, sleep, and eating, taxes of silence affect society. Little benefit to have an inner behind the society to commit a felony can be readapted to society. In addition, it is a danger to society if he's here to get out of prison. Imagine it's your family. You need the peace. On to touch, he was hurt on perhaps to his life. On other hand, is based on the absolute theories of punishment. The maximum penalty has fair. These theories are based on the freedom and natural equality of all men. Therefore, when a man commits a crime, it has to repay the offender to a penalty equivalent to the evil that has caused. The penalty is a way to give value that can have a life, and therefore should be paid in the same way.
Okay.
For this reason, we
invite you to push the red button.
Okay. I'm going to tell you something more. I'm going to compare Mexico between USA. In Mexico, we have the Constitution number 2, having the best laws in all the world. America is number 30. But what happened here? The US government has a correct application of their laws, which is why this is why this country have a better quality of life than Mexico. If the price is use the death penalty, we are going to apply in the best way possible. We just want justice, we don't want revenge.
We don't want fear. We want peace in our minds.
Thank you, CON team, for presenting your conclusion. And I would like to congratulate both teams. Would you please stand up? I would like to congratulate, and I would like to ask the audience to please give them a big round of applause as they did a great job.